Hello, people. Welcome to another edition, another episode of Davy Pod. And today we're going to be talking about something really exciting. It's a topic that I've been on my mind for a while now. I've been thinking about doing this video for quite a while, but for some reason I have had a lot of things on my schedule, things on my plate, and I've been working on so many other channels that I would soon be bringing to you. I have a lot of channels that I'm running now, and I would love everyone to subscribe to the one that really appeals to you. It's on different topics, sports, whatever. So please, what I need you to do for me right now is for you to like, comment, subscribe. The topic we'll be talking about today is 50-50 and how it actually affects marriages and sometimes relationships. And with me is a friend of mine who I have been begging to be on this video. And today she's decided to join me. I don't know why she's laughing, and I'm just trying to introduce her. She's one and only Miss Linda. Linda, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. Thank you very much. It's
Yeah,
actually an honor to be here.
good to have you all the way from London. How is London today?
London is hot. We're hoping it gets cold really soon.
I think in London you guys have the worst weather. Like it's always like at the extreme or something. This is what I've
Yeah,
heard. I've never been in London.
it is really extreme. I mean,
Hmm.
the houses are built to trap in heat.
Yeah.
So you can actually imagine what it is like during summer. It's like you just want to go crazy, but we're surviving. I
Wow.
never thought that I'd have to buy a fan in
Hmm.
London, but yeah, I got myself a fan because I was about to lose my mind. So yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay, so Linda is in London and I'm over here in Japan, and summer is the same, but at least we don't have houses that trap in heat. So that is the good side of it. Let's jump right into it. The first
Yeah.
question I'm going to be asking is what comes to your mind when you hear 50-50 in marriage?
Cheating.
Cheating.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
I feel like 50-50 usually comes from men. Never really seen much women clamor for 50-50.
Hmm.
So if a man talks about 50-50, I just have it in my mind that you are about to cheat me and you're looking for who you will reap in that marriage. So when you say 50-50, I just see that somebody's about to cheat somebody. So yeah.
Okay, okay, that's interesting. Or let's because a lot of people who will be watching this will be saying, okay, 50-50, what are we even sharing in the first place?
Yeah.
So let's get down to it. I know that when it comes to 50-50, most times it's about the money, it's about the chores, it's about parenting, it's about decision making, emotional support. All these things come under the umbrella of 50-50, because when you look at the money end of it, the men feel like they're the ones contributing more on that end. When you look at parenting and chores, sometimes the women feel like they're contributing more on that end. Decision making, men feel like they're it's their primary responsibility and all that. So what are we sharing here? When you say 50-50, what are we exactly sharing here?
I feel like now we are being, very, very critical
Mhm,
about what 50-50 is. But in the everyday society, when people talk about 50-50, they
mhm.
usually do not, think about it as the whole unit. Yeah.
Okay.
So when they talk about 50-50, it's usually about the money. And
Mm,
that's why I said, it's cheating. If you're
mm,
talking about 50-50, if you really, really want it to be 50-50 marriage, we're
mm,
saying everything has to be shared equally, right?
mhm,
The financial responsibilities, the emotional responsibilities, the social, the mental, the physical responsibilities at home. It has to be 50-50. So when I hear 50-50, and most times it's actually difficult to share.
yeah.
How do you even share these things?
Mhm.
in a relationship or in a marriage. I
Yeah.
feel like there can never be 50-50.
Mm.
So if you want to actually go 50-50 financially, then would have to agree that every other thing in the family has to be
Mm.
50-50. I mean,
Yeah.
it just cannot be about the finances. Yeah.
Mhm.
So who will do the chores? If we have to split the financial responsibilities into two, who
Mhm.
will do the chores?
Mm.
Who will, in fact, we have to contribute equally in the marriage, and that
Mm.
includes childbearing. I'm sorry, but
Mm.
I have to say it. Yeah. So if we are going 50-50 for everything inside the marriage, it means everything should be shared equally, right? I
Mhm.
don't have to carry a child in my body for you because that will be cheating. You
Mm.
don't have to keep your body and then I have to alter mine to bring a
Mm.
child that will bear our name, that would, grow as a family.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to prize a surrogate. That's how they say it. They call them surrogate mothers, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we get one. If it costs $20,000
Mm.
to get, the services of a surrogate mom, I get 10,000, you get 10,000, and then we pay. You get
Mm.
your sperm, I get my eggs, and we make a baby. Nobody has to
Mm.
go through, the journey 100% because at that time it
Mm.
becomes cheating. You don't tell me that I carry the baby and then you give me emotional support. That's not 50-50. So you carry the baby, so I give you emotional support. So when I hear 50-50, I feel like it's never 50-50. It
Mm.
can never be 50-50. Once you say 50-50, I take it that you want to cheat me. You want to kill me. You're coming for my life. So yeah.
Well, when you say that, I think a lot of people who will be listening to this will be thinking, well, if you're saying when you say 50-50, as a woman, you're looking at it like people are the man is trying to cheat you. Are you then saying that in a marriage or in a relationship situation, the woman always contributes more than the man?
I feel like there are traditional roles in the family. Like I'm African, right? I
Yeah.
cannot, remove that's my identity. And we have, in a traditional home, we have responsibilities, we have duties, we
Hmm.
have things that nature has actually bestowed on us. Yeah.
Hmm.
A woman nurtures the home,
Hmm.
a woman cares for the home,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And a man provides and protects.
Okay.
That's how it should be. That is how it
I
should
mean,
be.
traditionally you're speaking, yeah.
Additionally, yeah.
Mm.
In that sense, I don't feel like anybody's cheating anybody. I feel like whenever people bring up the idea of 50-50, it
Hmm.
becomes cheating, especially to the female gender. It can't be 50-50.
Okay.
It cannot be 50-50.
Now, I mean, there's this thing that I believe in, like, think terms don't come out from nothing.
Yeah.
Something must have happened to bring up this conversation of 50-50. What do you think in your own perspective? I mean, we're not like the ultimate knowledge. Well, I mean, ultimate, I don't know. We don't have all the knowledge here. We're just giving opinions. But where do you think this idea of 50-50? How do you think it came up in the first place? Why are people actually talking? And why is it a thing in the society today?
I feel like so many African men are trying to copy the Western culture.
Okay.
Some parts, the parts that favor them, actually, because it is very common here for people to do 50-50. I don't know how they do it, but I feel like they feel like it's a common thing in the Western world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they are trying to copy that aspect. They're trying to copy that from them.
Yeah.
And sometimes these 50-50 conversations don't come because the men do not have what it takes to fully provide for their family.
Mm.
They just feel like it's a trending thing. I don't know. I don't know if it's influence. I don't know
Mm.
what's happening,
Mm.
but I feel like there are more men being influenced to demand for 50-50. It
Well,
is different. It is actually different when a man does not have the financial capability to fully sustain his family. Now that's where
mhm.
consideration comes into place. That's where being a partner to that man, you start playing a role of stepping in, supporting, and
Mm.
trying to hold your family fair.
Yeah.
Bringing it outrightly from the beginning of a relationship or a marriage and saying, in this marriage, you're going 50-50. I'm sorry, it can never be 50-50. It's weird. It's not happening. It's not 50-50.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah,
I'm not sitting down here talking like I actually believe in 50-50. My own
yeah,
idea is I feel like in marriage, at least I am in one, I think it's never 50-50. Sometimes it's 60-40, and the 60 is coming from my wife. Sometimes it's 50, and I mean 80-20, and the 80 is coming from me. There was a time in our marriage where I know it was 70-30, and the 70 was coming from my wife. So I'm a strong believer of the fact that for it to balance out, sometimes the load would go over to the woman and sometimes the load will go over to the man. So the idea of 50-50 is for people who, in my opinion, don't have the trust. I think it comes from a place of fear that if I'm not able to provide as a man, that there is a big chance my family will fail. And instead of having a conversation about it with a like-minded individual who would actually understand you, you see yourself in a space where you are now making kind of demands of 50-50. If I providing this much, you're going to be providing that much because you think that is going to save the family. you know I understand that people are suffering. The poverty rate is high, the economy is
yeah,
tough and everything, and I don't think it should solely lie on a man to be providing today. But at the same time, and that also changes the dynamics of, if a man is being helped to provide, how is the man helping the woman who is helping him to provide? So that
yeah,
begins to change the dynamics of the way we live in our society today. And some people are saying, oh, we cannot be thinking traditionally. I still think traditionally. I still believe that the traditional values, the traditional concept makes a lot of sense. It's a beautiful way of doing it. But there has to be this hybrid of the traditional concept and then kind of engaging it into the society of today. Like, how do I say? Twisting it, just adjusting it a little bit to fit today's society and the economy that we are in. So that's my own thought on the idea of 50-50. You were going to say something. Go ahead.
yeah. I feel like having conversations about finances before you even get into a serious relationship with someone
Yeah.
is one of the most, underrated topics. Like couples
Mm,
do not really talk about it that much. But I feel like finances is something that two people need to come together and ask themselves, how do we intend to run the finances of
mm,
this family? Do
mhm,
we get a joint account? How much do I have to pay into the joint account? And how do we run this account?
mm,
Yeah. And if I'm paying so amount, what is your contribution to the home? Do
mm,
you come back and expect that I make the home clean, cook, you still perform my role as a traditional wife
mm,
fully? Is there a point where you have to step in to actually help out with duties, or do you actually believe that it is meant for me? It is my primary responsibility. If it's my
mm,
primary responsibility, how does that affect my contribution to the home financially?
mm,
Because traditionally, providing is your primary responsibility. So there has to be some sort of flexibility, balance, consideration
mm,
in marriage. But it is a very big red flag
mm,
for me. And I think it's a red flag for anybody that, at the beginning of a relationship, a man just steps in and says, this is going to be 50-50. I mean, you might want to go for that to ask the person in what aspects. What's the 50-50 in? What are we sharing? I feel like this is a conversation that, two people would have to have.
mm,
Finances is, I mean, it causes a lot of issues. It's one of the highest causes of divorce,
mm.
finances. Mismanaged, like
Yeah,
two
that's true.
people don't agree on, it's a case where a woman says, I'm not contributing nada.
Mm,
You do your 100% on providing, and so I'll do my 100% on taking care of the home. Sometimes it causes issues. These are, you know, these are conversations that I should have had before. you
Yeah.
people even get into something really, really serious.
Mm.
My opinion, like, I am not saying that a man should 100% take up the responsibility, but I just feel like it's never 50-50. Shouldn't even be brought up. I mean, when you're
Yeah.
talking finances, talk about how you want to jointly manage your, finances when you get married. Bringing up 50-50, I just take it that you want to reap me, you're after my life. I know I'm not, I don't subscribe to 50-50. I'm never subscribing to it because it's never 50-50. And I feel like it becomes a transactional thing. I don't feel like if you're going
Yeah.
50-50 on everything with your partner, I feel like you guys are business partners and you're just,
Yeah, yeah. It begins to look like the soul of the marriage is gone. The moment
yeah,
you start talking in that way, it looks like the values that we're supposed to be holding on to is already being threatened, and we've not even gone into the relationship. But
yeah,
I feel like this conversation is is being had majorly from the male perspective because sometimes as well we hear females actually demanding that 50-50, and it comes from the idea because like I said, when it comes to finances, that's where you hear a lot of men demanding 50-50, and I feel like
yeah,
part of the reason also why they are demanding 50-50 is not because they are not able to provide. It's also because women are demanding 50-50 in taking care of the home. So it's like you want me to provide 100% of everything and still come back to the house and do things 50-50 with you in the house. And as much as I feel like personally, right now, at the moment, in my own family, I am 100% providing everything, but it doesn't stop me from coming back to the home and helping out. This is me. This is the way I feel like I'm an adult. Even if my wife wasn't here, this house needs to be taken care of one way or the other, and I'm gonna try to keep my house clean, but or maybe do laundry or whatever. I'm just lucky to have a capable wife who does everything, and I love her
yeah,
for that. But when you talk about helping out in the house, I don't think is a big problem. But for some people, which is significant, I'm not shaming anybody for feeling that way. For some men, they feel like if I have to go out, because people's jobs are different, my job allows me to be able to come back home and do something else. Some men feel like if I have to go out, bust my I don't know, bust whatever they bust in the office and work that hard, and then when I come home, you still want me to help in cleaning the house and taking care of the home because it's a 50-50 concept you have in your head as a woman. What do you have to say to that kind of situation?
yeah, yeah. Some women are really lucky to, like a wife. I mean, with the instance you just gave us, right?
Yeah.
Some women are really lucky to have husbands that are able to provide and still come back to help, right?
Mm.
The
Mhm.
problem is many men do not actually think that homemaking is a big deal. Like, it's a job. They don't feel like it takes a lot of energy
Mhm.
to do. I mean, when they come back, what you hear is, I've been at work all day and you've been at home doing nothing. I'm sure you do have a kid, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And have you tried to spend one whole day alone with that kid?
Yeah, yeah, I see how difficult it is.
Okay.
I would never belittle what it is to raise a kid in the house and to take care of the house at the same time, especially for the fact that I'm a teacher. I teach like 30, 40 of these kids per hour. So it's a difficult task. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to, because I stay with my brother and his wife and my
Mhm.
niece.
Yeah.
And when I was still schooling, sometimes my sister-in-law would say, please, if you guys finish eating, just try and wash up the plates immediately because Ada would not let me do much.
Mm.
And Ada was not even up to a year old. And
Yeah.
then I would think about it like,
Yeah.
and that would not really let you do much
Yeah.
until, you know, a particular day when she left and I had to stay with Ada the whole day. Oh
Hmm.
my God. I could not achieve anything
Yeah.
because I was just making sure that she doesn't hurt herself.
Mm.
Even the times I was feeling sleepy, I felt like I needed to take a nap. I couldn't
Mm.
take a nap because Ada was not ready to take a nap.
Yeah.
Because you can't sleep and then leave a
Leave a
toddler
child. Yeah.
alone. Yeah, so you're battling headache, you're just trying to be with that person. And imagine someone having to go through all of this, trying to keep, the kids or your children,
Hmm.
from keeping them safe. And then
Hmm.
you come back and make it look like the person has been lazing the whole day.
Mm.
Do you get? So when you
Mm.
come back, your wife still feels like I don't have to do all this the whole day and then come back and I still have to cook, I still have to clean. It's too much. It is exhausting. I just feel like demanding 50-50 from a man in a home,
Hmm.
you know, from a man to, take care of a home
Hmm.
is wrong,
Hmm.
especially when the man is going 100-0 financially.
Yeah.
If he sees that you are struggling, that is where actually being kind and considerate now comes in.
Yeah.
My wife is struggling. I need to help out. Or I
Hmm.
need to, save her some stress.
Yeah.
Okay, babe, you don't have to cook dinner today. Let's eat out.
Hmm.
You don't necessarily have to do the cooking yourself.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And
Hmm.
so you just find a way to ease off that stress.
Yeah.
Because if somebody is actually taking care of the home,
Mm.
it's not as easy as people make it seem. It's not a
Yeah.
very easy task.
Yeah.
So you can't outrightly demand that your husband comes back and takes 50% of the chores. That's bullshit. It doesn't work that way. I mean, when you
Mm.
start making it a thing, a normal traditional man would go head to head with you and say, no. Okay, I was even
Yeah.
trying to be nice, and then you're trying to make it a thing. I said, no, I'm not doing that. And then
Mm.
you also said something about women demanding for 50-50. I feel
Hmm.
like most women that demand for 50-50
Hmm.
do it for two reasons.
Okay.
One, session with power. They want to
Yeah.
have as much power as the man has in the relationship. You can't call the shots.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Mm.
contribute 50-50. Why do you want to tell me what to do?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Hmm.
They are obsessed with having control as well. They don't
Yeah.
want to submit to anybody. You
Hmm.
can't call the shots. You can't tell me what to do. Your decision does not overrule mine. We
Hmm.
contribute equally in the relationship. So what do you want to tell me?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
Secondly, because of fear, a lot of women end up not having anything to fall back on in case of
Mm.
separation or divorce.
Mm.
So, and I feel like this is where lack of trust comes in
Yeah.
because somehow you're on the edge. You're feeling like, what if this relationship goes south? What
Mm.
happened?
Mm.
Where do I stand? Like, will a man wake up one day and say, leave my house? And I
Yeah.
won't have a say. Do you understand? There was
Yeah.
something one of these celebrities said one time, and then she was getting dragged for it. Kiki,
Oh,
right?
Kiki Palmer.
The Nigerian Kiki, the
Oh.
comedian. Yeah,
Mm.
Kiki.
I
She
don't
said
know.
that she contributes equally with her husband. That
Hmm.
she I can't really say the exact thing she said, but this is what she meant, that she contributes equally with her husband. And
Mm.
because if anything happens, the marriage tomorrow, and the husband picks up a chair, that she will pick up the TV. If the husband picks up this, she's going to pick up this because her money is in the house.
Mm.
So it's more like having something to fall back on. They don't want to they leave my house. I picked you from the gutters, leave, go back to your
Yeah.
parents' house. There's no going back to our parents' house. You're splitting this into two
Yeah.
equal parts because it's our
Mm.
contribution. So I feel like
Mm.
this is where it comes. I don't feel like no woman actually suggests 50-50 with genuine and clear intentions. No,
Yeah.
I don't really feel like it happens. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a very strong point. It's I can understand that fear in a woman. I'm not a woman, so I can't say I know what it's like, but I can understand it because I think it's one of the primary fears women always have, that fear of having nothing to fall back to. And I think it is
Yeah,
something that has always driven them to stand up and work hard and build a career and all that.
yeah,
And then feel like, okay, when I get into a marriage, I should have my own thing so that if this thing collapses, I can have something to hold on to. And we can go ahead and say it's because of how much men has messed up relationships. But you know, if we do that, then we're not actually being fair because a lot of times women have actually been the ones messing up a marriage. So
yeah,
I feel like being able to know your person is where this whole thing has always been the problem. You are so scared as a woman that you've not even tried to pay attention to the man you're choosing. You are so scared that you've not actually tried to calm down to understand the dynamics of the relationship you're about to have. And I feel like if women keep concentrating on that, I can't speak for women, but this is my thoughts as a man. If you keep concentrating on that, it becomes a problem for you, not even for the guy you're going into the relationship with, because any man who comes around you and smells that from you kindly walks away in most cases. Some men will stay, but you just end up running into problems with that man. But you talked about a word. There's a word you used that I really want to hear more because I think it's really important to this conversation we're having. And it's the word submission. But before we go into that, there's this concept that is just to me right now it's the most annoying thing on the internet. Uh,
yeah.
this concept of feminism, and I feel like I don't want to make this a very big video and we're talking about different concepts, but just to bring it in a subtle way, how much do you think this idea of feminism has affected submission in a marriage? Because I feel like for some women, the fear of submission drives them to go 50-50, to shout 50-50, because they feel like I cannot submit to this man because I don't know what he's going to do with my life. You know, that
Okay.
same primordial fear that they have. I don't know what he's going to do with my life in this marriage. So I can't submit to this man. And so they submit to this idea of feminism in quotes. I don't think there's anything wrong with with feminism, the concept of feminism. I feel there is toxic people who are using that concept for the wrong reasons. That is what I think. I think the idea of feminism has always been a good idea, good concept in my own head. But the way toxic people have used it as a propaganda to just, suffer people, suffer themselves especially, it's
Mm-hmm.
becoming a menace in the society. But let's look at how that has affected submission also as a concept in a marriage and how that is driving women to, some women, not all women, some women to shout 50-50. What do you think about that?
First of all, before I answer the question,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like you to quickly just give me a brief explanation of what submission is
Mm-hmm.
in a marriage. Like when you say that you want a woman who would submit to you, what do you mean?
Okay, so here's my idea of submission. First of all, I'm a religious guy. I know you are too. So my idea of submission comes from the Bible. It's going to be a long talk. So let me bring it down to this. A woman submitting to a man, in my opinion, is that you have, first of all, it starts from the choosing part. I always believe that the process of choosing is more important than the marriage itself. A lot
Yeah,
of
sure.
people are so interested in the marriage that they forget that the process of choosing is the most foundational part of the marriage and is the most
Yeah.
important. Now, that in your choosing, you have seen a man who is capable of leading you and you trust this man. The reason why you trust this man is because you see who he is submitting to. Before you can submit to a man, you have to see who he is submitting to. I submit to my creator. I submit to God. I don't
What
do
happened?
anything. I don't do anything just because I want to do it. Do you
But what's
understand?
the need? What's the need of the chain? Why not just submit directly to the creator? Why do you have to submit to a man who submits to a creator? Why don't I just submit to the creator straight up?
That's a beautiful question. Now, the reason why you submit to a man who submits to your creator is because at the end of the day, it comes down to what happens on earth, right? It comes down to what happens physically in your family. What happens when there is someone standing in front of your door and someone has to stand in front of that door to protect you and your kids? It comes down to decision makings in critical moments where you are looking at someone who is not there with you, who is going to be representing the whole family, and you're expecting him to make a decision that is going to affect you and him. So if you are picking a man who you don't trust, that he has the fear of God in his head, that he understands what the Bible says about protecting a wife, making sure that you're not keeping him. It's like a pilot co-pilot relationship where submitting to a man is not like, oh, now you're my little one, you're under me, like in the sense of, I don't know, my
That is what it
slave
sounds
or
like most
something.
of the times, but okay.
No, if it sounds like that, then you're not getting my opinion. My opinion is submitting to a man is knowing that the person that you are going to be walking the journey of marriage with has your best interest in heart because you see who he is submitting to. And that means that you are capable of doing things by yourself, but you first seek his consent before doing it. You first seek his understanding before doing it. And
But you see,
this is this is not something that goes one-sided. When people say
okay,
submission, a lot of time I submit to my wife because there are
good.
areas of life that I don't have all the best knowledge about. There are areas of life that my pride and ego as a man cannot let me see. So I have to submit to my wife in those instances. I have to be like, babe, what do you think about this? And some people keep thinking about leadership, especially not just men. A lot of men keep thinking of leadership as this king role. I don't see it that way. I think of leadership as a servant role. So if you start seeing it just when you the kind of man determines. I think submission becomes hard when you pick the wrong man.
Yeah, and I feel like
Submission becomes difficult when
if
you pick the wrong man. That's my
with
thought.
the naturally men submit naturally to men who can lead. Submission is not even something that you need to request for. It's
Yeah.
not something that you need to say, you need to submit to me. It
Yeah.
just comes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
moment you start asking for it, I mean, it becomes, it's not coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not coming. The moment you start asking for it, I mean, there's a very high possibility that it's not going to come.
And
But
it can be two ways as well, because it can be, sorry for cutting you off short. It can be, it's not going to come because maybe you are not the right man to be submitted to, or that woman is not the right woman that can submit to you.
yeah,
Hmm.
no, it's fine. So I used to think that I'm really tough
Mm-hmm.
and, I don't have to, I can take decisions that affect my life.
Hmm.
I'm very capable of taking, decisions by myself. I don't feel like I really need anybody to do that for me. I really don't think
Mm-hmm.
I need to seek anybody's opinion in what I do.
Yeah.
Your opinion can come as an advice, which I can decide to take or not to take.
Hmm.
Do you understand? But most
Yeah.
times it all boils down to what I want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have met with some people that I have been good friends with, and I just watch them taking initiative and I watch them lead. And before you know it, you just lean into submitting. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes, most times, you just want to get their opinion on stuff. And when they actually tell you what to do, you do it because you
Hmm.
trust their leadership. You just trust what they are capable of.
Yeah.
So it's not something that you demand from. If a woman doesn't submit from you, just like submit to you, it's just like what you said. It's
Mm-hmm.
either she doesn't see you as somebody she can submit to, or you are just not, you know, you're not there yet.
Yeah.
So,
You're not someone
um,
that can submit to. That's right.
good. And then
Mm.
you also said something about feminism.
Mm-hmm.
There are different definitions of feminism on social media,
Yeah.
and there
Are we not getting tired at this point?
each genre of feminism has their own group of supporters. Massive.
People
I
are
can't,
standing for them.
TikTok is a very interesting place
Very.
that there, anything you believe in,
Mm.
you just need to put it out there and then you see your followers. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are just, you know, misunderstanding what feminism is all about.
Yeah.
Now on social media, it has turned to hate for men. They
Mm.
call men oppressors. They say, why will you even get married to your oppressor? In my head, I'm like, I went to somebody's page recently and the
Mm.
person was talking about that she can't believe that Nigerian women still listen to some artists, like called a lot of people like Odumodu Black, Ruga, a lot
Mm.
of artists, and said, why would Nigerian women still be listening to those kind of people? I mean, people listen to music just to calm down, to
Mm-hmm.
enjoy themselves. So yeah, I feel like people are just misunderstanding what feminism is all about. And then I went to the person's comment section and I said, WAFCON is on right now. How
Mm.
many of you women on this platform, on this space, are currently seeing the WAFCON? And
Yeah.
they were asking me, has it started? Has it started? I'm like,
I,
you're not
I,
even, you claim to love women so much, but you don't even know that, WAFCON has started. But you knew when the men's, football, when they were playing, you're so
yeah.
obsessed with finding out, with talking about what men are doing wrong, than actually supporting, your gender.
Yeah.
I mean, you just invest so much energy in the wrong thing.
Mm.
Feminism is all about give women equal chances as men. If a man can run
Yeah.
for president, make it open, a woman should be able to run for president. If men are allowed to go to school, women should be allowed to go to school as well.
Yeah.
If, give them equal opportunities, let there be a fair fight, let it
Mm-hmm.
be fair
Yeah.
to all genders. There should not be any discrimination. Let's say women cannot do this, but men can. Do you understand?
Mm.
That's what
Yeah.
feminism is all about. But now it's turning into something else. And I'm sorry, I cannot be, I'm not part of it. It's not, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I'm a feminist, but
Mm.
there's a clear hate, pushing agenda for clear hate for men. And
Mm.
I'm sorry, but we're in a society that these two genders cannot exist without themselves. We cannot
Exactly.
exist without them. They cannot exist without us. We
Mm.
practically need each other to survive. So what exactly are you,
It's clear. It's clear
what
as
are you
day.
saying?
Yeah.
I mean, there is a very, very big feminist on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, on TikTok and 001, their president. Now you hate men so much, but you went behind the back to get pregnant and then you gave birth to a boy. Why did you even give birth to a boy?
Why
Like you
did
gave
you
birth
even
to this,
get pregnant in the first place?
and now she's claiming she did, what's it called? IVF. With what?
Mm.
Is it with potato? What did you put inside your body? I don't understand.
Your oppressor. You allowed your oppressor to put something there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It
Oh
doesn't
my
make
God.
sense. I
Yeah,
mean, if
but
you're going to hate men, just hate them to the end. Don't give
yeah,
birth anymore. Let it end with you. You mean
yeah,
so you can't be claiming that you hate men and then you just give birth to a boy. What are you raising? Who do you want to raise?
yeah.
An
And
oppressor.
actually, I've actually seen a lot of videos where women are actually going, I don't even know there's this quoting a particular video. She said, I don't know what I would do if I ever give birth to a boy. Like, how can I bring a boy into this world? And it just goes to show how much that concept has been
And then
tweaked. I don't think it's even tweaked at this point. It's like they've flipped it 100% and they've made another meaning out of it. And
Just
then,
try not to give birth at all. It's simple.
yeah, and then you get to see how sometimes that influences their decision into marriage, like shouting for, oh, it should be 50-50 because I'm a feminist and all that. I don't think that idea has room in a marriage. I don't believe in it. I
Yeah.
don't think it does. But anyway, let's not push this video further because we have talked about most of the things that we're supposed to talk about. And of course, we're going to be bringing you more videos for you that is still watching. Thank you so much for watching. And tell us, what is your own opinion? What do you think about everything we've been talking about? Where do you think feminism stands in a marriage? Where do you think 50-50 stands in a marriage? What do you think for on the side, if you're a woman, what do you think as a woman 50-50 means to you? And as a man, what do you think 50, why do you think it's even exists in the first place? We're not giving state of the art opinions here. We're giving opinions where and how it matters to us and what we think. So let us know what you think in the comment section. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. This has been a topic that's so important to me, and I want to see what it means to you as well. Well, thank you, Linda, for being here. Thank you, thank you. I know I keep calling you Linda, and on your tag you have Chinye. We go a long way, so I call her Linda, but of course her
Yeah.
name is also Chinye. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully, we're going to have more videos together, and we'll call it. We'll call this the end. What do you think?
Yeah, it's been an interesting topic. I'm really glad that we had to talk about this. So yeah,
Yeah.
can't wait to see your comments as well.
Thank you so much. See you on the next one, people. Bye.
Bye.